Guess I need to go. It's, is it up? I can't never tell. Okay, I think it's finally pulling up. All right, all right, all right. I think we are live though.
Okay.
So yeah, my stuff is slow, but it's showing on the screen that we are live. So y'all, we are live once again. You know, um, peace to everyone. Abargani, Islam, Salam, Hete Poo, Rahubat, Gino Longo Ninani, Chief Noble Bandele Elamine. Back again, and I got my homeboy KB is in the building, and
Yo,
we're gonna be
what's
going
up?
in on some stuff, man. What's up?
Nothing much. Chilling, chilling. What's up to everybody?
Okay.
Anybody out there who checking the video out? How you doing? Uh-oh, look like the brother somehow got cut off from the thing. He'll be back in a few seconds, y'all. Just bear with us. We got a lot of good information coming. We're gonna talk about Bandele. KB gonna talk about the finances. Do a very brief introduction into finance. You feel me? The financial environment, financial institutions, what is finance? We got a lot of good things. If you ever wondered about finance or, was interested in business and, you know, economics, we got a few good things coming for y'all, man. We got a few good things coming to y'all today. So just bear with us while we go through these technical difficulties. I'm sure the brother will be back in just a few moments. Let's see. Still
Can you
waiting
hear
for
me?
the brother to come back up. There you go.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I don't know. I got kicked off, y'all. So I'll be back in live. But basically, what we wanted to talk about tonight was money. In 2023, a lot of stuff is going on, particularly, economy. Things are rising, prices are rising, and people are looking for more money. And 2023 is just starting. It's really a good time to start looking at finances and getting our finances in order. A lot of times, as melanated people, we have not had the experience to really learn finance and get ahead. Okay, so that's what we kind of want to get in tonight, man. Anything you want to add to that?
Oh yeah, of course. A lot of us nowadays we recognize that we wasn't taught financial literacy and wasn't given a financial education growing up. I mean, plenty of us recognize that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us do got some good information. A lot of folks know how to, manage their credit right and do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? But I think, when we're talking about it on a collective level, community building, black empowerment, it definitely part of it starts with financial education.
Most definitely, most definitely. It's up here, but we ain't gotta get over to it right now. But I'm just throwing this up there for us to get started. Because what we really gonna do is kind of just go through, um, kind of step by step, of what finance, is, and and this relationship to money, because I mean, for us, even for me, it's that time. we're in that age and time that we gotta really start taking our finances more serious, and learning how to invest and just learning how to make money work for us. Okay, so um, with that being said, man, we want to go ahead and get into this so that we can really break this down. I'm gonna make this a little bigger.
Mm. Let's see what part you on, bro.
Right here, I got chapter one pulled up now, and like this is brother KB. This is his information. I'm just pulling it up, but I know he kind of gonna go through this. So we kind of got the layout, like chapter one, financial environment. What is finance? So where you want to start with here?
Well, let's see, bro. I think you got chapter 2 pulled up.
Oh, shoot. Let me. I didn't mean to hit chapter two. Let me go back in here real quick and pull up chapter one. Yeah, the way I had it set up, I thought I clicked on chapter one, and I got chapter one on my screen, but
Mm-hmm.
hold on, pull up chapter one. So anyway, I mean, as I pull that up, man, maybe get into something like your experiences, like what you've been kind of looking at lately. Intro,
Okay,
man. Let me see.
yeah, I mean, we finna pull up some notes on some reading. Uh, I think somebody told me once that a good way to learn something sometimes is to start with textbooks. You feel me? It's a lot of drudge work in it, but it's a reward to it. So I kind of slowly started to kind of go over this material that was in this textbook I had, and I just made some notes about it. And it's very interesting information. So y'all just bear with us for real.
Yeah, y'all. I mean, like we gonna get there, man. It's like it's a little delay going on with my side, and I don't know what's going on with them. I'm right up under the internet, y'all, and it's just going crazy, man. I don't know if they don't want us to talk about this money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because shoot, that's what everybody's for right now. Everybody need money, and everybody looking for money, man. And really, we got the money, but we just don't know what to do with it. Let me. I'm trying to pull this back up, yeah. You gotta with me, man. Um, I know the chapter, like I said, I know the chapter one. Hold on, it's trying to do. Okay. Um, yeah, it's just tripping, man. I know. So while I'm just looking at it, um, chapter one is going to be dealing with the financial environment. And so it deals with what is finance, why study finance. Okay, an overview of the financial system because a lot of times the key to it is that we really don't understand the financial system, and a lot of times, like me and him talk about the stereotypes and the conspiracies about the financial system, and what we try to do is just kind of cut through all that and really understand it from a scholarly or academic sense. All right, bro, both of them would say chapter one on here, documents. So I don't know. I'm about
I
to.
mean, one of them say type you download type.
I'm just
Well,
gonna share the entire screen. I'm gonna share the entire screen. All right. I'm just gonna share the entire screen, and then I'm gonna pull it up. Okay. So all right. So y'all bear with me. Now let's go. This I think it's the first one. Okay. Can y'all see that? Can you see it?
it's loading.
Oh, okay.
Let's
All
see,
right. So
it's
it's
loading
loading up,
now.
man. Basically, it should be coming up, but basically, it's going uh, kind of like a highlighted. It should be popping up, man. See, I'm just saying, y'all, man, it's tripping, man. Like I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. It's finally pulling up. So,
Okay.
okay, what can you see right now?
Okay, I see.
You see
It
me?
says the
Okay, so
learning objective.
all right. So I'm gonna go back up here. All right, y'all. So all right. So we go into chapter one, the financial environment. What do you want me to go to?
Or even check out the part before that though, because that's also important too. Is institution and markets. So really, even in the context of the first part of the first book gonna be all about financial institutions and financial markets. And we understand that markets is just places that you just go and buy things. You feel me? You can think of it just like that. So where you go and
All
buy
right.
financial, you feel me?
Yeah, and then investments and financial management. So I mean, like I don't think that we really think about these terms that often. You know what I'm saying? Like these things are not really something that we think about on the day to day. And so I'm thinking in 2023, that's what we need to do is kind of look at things. So, all right, so we're going to chapter one, the financial environment. Where the
Let's see. Well, we can go past this because this is well, this is going to be some of the key topics throughout the chapter or points is it will say what is finance. We don't got why study finance. It is the six principles of finance, overview of the financial system, financial markets, characteristics and types, careers in finance, and say study plan there, but we ain't got all
all
that.
right. So what about right here? Because I think the three general areas of financial studies.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
So
Let's see. Let's
the
look.
first one is talking about what? Can you see it? Institution and markets.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And we got to keep all this in the context of institutions and markets. And when we say institutions, financial institutions, like, bro, what's a financial institution? Everybody know of, or some type of financial institution.
I
Financial
mean, like a
institution.
bank, like a bank,
Exactly. Uh huh. Exactly. Right.
right? So most of the time we're talking about a bank, which is something that most of us have familiarity with.
What would
So
even be another one though? I know you know at least a few, even outside of a bank. What's like two other type you might even be able to think of?
I mean, anything dealing with money, but institution could be we're talking about financial institution. It could be a place where you're doing stocks, bonds,
Right.
um, money, like even a cash checking spot. Would that be considered an institution?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. You go ahead and fill it in. What else you
I
trying to
mean,
say?
it's even the other institutions like the government. Uh, you got like insurance. You feel me?
Right, insurance.
Uh, we gonna get. I don't know all of them because I'm with y'all. I'm definitely still a student. These my notes. I can think. I might even be wrong, but let's go through it. But what about markets though? Like when you think of a market, what's the market everybody know of? A financial market.
You say like a financial market.
Mm.
I mean, like
A place where you can
name one.
go and buy
Name
financial
it.
shit. Huh?
Like what? Go ahead and drop it for
Even I mean, like financial markets. I mean, even the bank. I mean, you can go there and buy financial products. Where can you go and buy financial products?
them. I'm saying like go ahead and break it down because I mean I'm not
Okay,
coming like
okay,
yeah.
okay.
What,
Well, let's see. Okay, so the we got listed here that the function of institutions and markets is to collect funds from savers, right? Or we got the three general. Well, wait a minute. Let's take a step back. We generally talk about the three areas of financial studies. Okay, so we got to keep that in
right.
mind. The three areas of financial study. Number one is institutions and markets. Number two is investments, and three is
It's management.
okay, and management. Okay, so those are the three areas of study in finance. So these are three
Okay,
areas.
so
No matter what you specialize in, it's going to fall in one of these. So you can specialize in institutions and markets and studying institutions such as banks, whatever. You can study financial markets. And I just got this here that the function of institutions and markets is to collect funds from savers and lend them to business businesses or people that need cash. Also, you can loan money to the government, wherever the fuck, whoever can be lent some money.
Right,
Um,
commercial and investment banks.
mhm,
So right, so that's what you was trying to say. I mean, like the different type of markets and institutions. So I mean, you got insurance companies, mutual funds, some other in financial saying debt securities. So
mhm,
that's something that, equity securities, current exchange. So what is we're gonna like these are some of the things we gotta get into. Like when you looking at um when you're looking at the first general area,
mhm,
how many of us like I know about mutual funds to some extent. Insurance companies, yeah. We're talking about life, any type of insurance company. Um, in particular, what comes to mind is buying life insurance.
mhm.
That has been looked at. A lot of people are checking into the benefits, the advantages of having life insurance policies.
Could you
Um,
share one? Could you share one outside of the obvious one that you get the money if something happened to you, but you like briefly explain it? One of the
well, like
benefits of.
yeah, like insurance companies, if you put money into an insurance policy, and it could be up to 10 years, so you're going to gain some type of interest on it, but it's also sitting there, and a lot of times this is tax free, so it's not, the government is not going to tax it. So a lot of people are putting money into there and then letting it grow over a 10-year period, and then once it matures they can actually cash out on it, even if somebody hasn't died. But it's there to, like we said, obviously it's for people who, it can be used for people who pass, but it is not necessarily used that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's one example. Um,
So let me
but
ask
even
you
like
this: I-
yeah,
is insurance key to wealth? I mean, let's say because we even talked about this kind of before, how you can put certain things on the books and accounting. Can you put this? You got $1 million life insurance on the books? I don't know.
yeah, like I mean, it can definitely be used. Like I mean, like from what my understanding is, like I would love to have somebody who's like an insurance person that does insurance. I got a couple people I know, but from what I can just overstand is that I mean you can even borrow against it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Things of that nature. So I mean, it does play in a form of an asset.
okay.
And when we talked about assets the other day, we ain't got into that part though. But when we talk about assets, assets are anything from it's property. It could be property, could be something that you physically own, like a um, I don't know what you're going to say, automobile, or just it could be stocks, it could be T bonds, it could be a contract. Any of these things are considered assets if they can make money. So, but I don't want to get into that yet.
We're gonna talk about that. Stay
I
tuned,
mean,
everybody.
we will, but I don't want to get off from where we was talking about on the three different parts.
Right,
You know
because
what
we
I'm
did
saying?
make a slight turn.
Yeah. So
But
so when you okay, go ahead, brother.
I just want to let everybody know, just keep these in mind because we're gonna talk about these later anyway, all the other stuff in there. So no problem, we can move forward. Uh, so the
Right,
second, so the second area of financial studies is investments. We all got a decent idea what an investment is, but look at these definitions of investment, and we can go all into this. This was security. So security markets. What is it? Security markets help businesses and governments raise funds. So essentially, it's saying there that investments, when you invest into something, it helps other people to raise new funds. It's as simple as
right.
that. Um, I don't know. People know this. Even when you put your money into certain banks or whatever, the banks lend that out to help other people, to business loans, other people. But anyway, security
Right.
markets.
Also
Let's see.
facilitate the transfer of securities between investors.
Okay, so we were talking about the market. Well, I think that might not necessarily. That might kind of we can skip over that probably. Is that participant investment?
Right. Participants investing in the financial markets use information from financial institutions and firms to evaluate different investments in securities, such as stocks, bonds, and certificates of deposit.
Bro,
See,
see,
yeah,
it's
go
kind of
ahead.
tempted. Like, so what is a security, bro, to you when you in this context? Because I don't know if this is important. You feel me? What security is? But this, but just a quick question, because I don't want to get too off topic, because a lot of this kind of didn't even really have to be included in there. It is some rough notes. So
Right. But I mean, like for real, like most of us don't understand how the money work, and these terms are kind of familiar, but not necessarily understood, right?
okay.
So I don't know if y'all can read this because it might be too small for this, but it says what a security is. Hey, this is funny. Refers to fungible. A security refers to fungible. Listen, negotiable financial instruments that hold some type of monetary value. Now, let's go back to what me and you was talking about.
Hmm.
One day.
But keep going though.
Um, it says in monetary value, a security can represent ownership in a corporation in the form of a stock. And it says a creditor relationship with a governmental body or a corporation represented by owning that entity's bond or rights to ownership as represented by an option. So, like, see, all this stuff right here is what we're really getting into is commercial language. So, when we talk about finances, it kind of takes on there's a language to it, and a lot of it is dealing with uh, commercial codes or what you want to call so-called commercial law. Okay, so this is something that I mean, it's important, but it's if y'all been studying any of the sovereignty or if you've been studying any of that stuff, then you'll understand how this might tie into that. And look, it's funny because they say the Securities Act of 1933. I mean, that's the same year that they, gave up the gold. So I don't know, like there's something to that to me as well, but let
Hey,
me
but
not
even
digress.
check that out though. They say it was the first federal legislation to regulate the U.S. stock market, and said before it was at the
Right.
state level. But anyway, we going deep into the rabbit hole. But
Yeah.
even just
Yeah.
this, it shows how interesting this information is, and you feel me. But
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to show y'all what it meant to say that. Okay. So let's get back. Which one was it on? Nah, it was this one. Okay. So
so the second,
securities.
yeah, this
Yeah.
okay. So we still in securities.
Okay. So we offer securities. Now that okay. So securities is pretty uh straight to the point. I mean, it's basically they're talking about, like I said, stocks, bonds. This is when we like. This is okay for real. This is what people do with their money. Okay, when we're talking about finances, marketing, managing, um, your investments. These are what most people start off in investing in some type of security. Like I said, stocks, bonds, certificate of deposit. Because you got those T bonds. Treasury bonds is something that people invest in. Like I said, stocks is another thing. Like you got the stock market, which a lot of people invest money to make money. So investments is just you know about making really good investments that's supposed to yield you some type of money. So one of the things that you have to understand when we're financing our money, that we have to look at ways to invest our money. All right.
All right. So
So
second area of study in finance is investments. Now we at the management. I mean, we don't have to go all through management, not like that. I don't know, because it's fairly straightforward. Management, financial management. We all as financial managers, to definitely, because we manage our own money. If you're not managing your own money, you managing your money. You feel me?
Yeah, if you're
That's
not managing, then society's managing your money. But definitely, management is like it's a very key part of it. So let's look at that finance. What is finance? So they say
okay.
finance really is just the study in reference to money and other financial assets. Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. That's why I'm kind of looking at this because it even begs the question. We could have defined money, finance, but we're gonna get all into that. But that's what is money? How does money created? And so it's a study in reference to money and other financial assets, wealth, like you feel me, or just even financial security. You feel me?
Yeah.
Uh, your ability, but yeah, yeah, man.
I mean, when you talk about financial assets, like we talked about earlier, I want y'all to understand that assets is nothing but property, right? So, like, if I talk like Brother King, me and him talk, and we broke stuff down, and he basically is saying that everything is property. And when you look at this right here, finance, money is a form of property, but financial assets is definitely like what's supposed to be your property, all right, which is which is supposed to have value. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, so go ahead. Where are we going? You said the process of individuals, institution, government, and business acquire, spend, and manage money and other financial assets.
Okay, so what was
Oh,
that's so this the definition of finance is like overall it's a study of how this is one of the definitions. It's a study in reference to money and other financial assets and the process of how individuals, institutions, governments, and businesses number one acquire, spend, and manage money and other financial assets. So yeah, I mean that's straightforward, but it's a lot there though.
so finance has its origins in economics and accounting. So when
Ah,
we talk, so now yeah, so when we talk about finances, it's a much it's another way of looking at it. It's the economy. Your I mean even your personal economy, your personal spending and buying and even selling and your accounting. Balancing um, your books, balancing your checkbook, your checking. Making sure that you are staying aware of what your money is doing. That's really accounting in the sense. It's like being accounted for the money. Where's the money being accounted for?
man, see, and this is, man, we need to get more into these things. A lot of times, a lot of us not drawn into these subjects because sometimes, they can be kind of not very interesting, especially wherever you're learning it from. But these is very interesting subjects that I think personally, folks need to take a closer look, bro. Because I mean, we got a lot of smart individuals and folks be mastering history and mastering all type of shit, but it's just very rare to run across a brother who got a lot of good information on accounting or economics or finance in general. I see a lot of people is getting it together though. I've been noticing that a lot of conscious folks is waking up. I hear a lot of more conversations like these, but yeah.
I mean, it's definitely time for it to happen, and in order for whatever you think is like for whatever you guys want to come together as, you know, you definitely we're going to have an understanding of economics and finances in order to like really make an impact on the world, on a major level because we know how to move our money around and know how to invest it and yield how to yield more money and invest it in other things to create other even to create institutions for ourselves. So um,
Yeah.
okay, so where we at? Yeah,
And, hey, let me throw this in too, because we were saying this the other day that a lot of folks got really good intentions, is very smart, you know what I'm saying, and got a lot of good plans that they have for uplifting the community, uplifting themselves. But a lot of times the trouble is that folks ain't got the money or the know how to do these things. Even if they got the know how to do it, they might not have the money or know how to get the money. So yeah, I mean, financial education, financial literacy is definitely in order. Uh, but yeah, yes, sir.
most deaf, man. So okay, so let's get back to let me see. I'll move this up. Oh, hold up. Where was he at? Oh, the broad area of study.
So we still talking about the definition of finance. What is
Yeah,
finance?
finance. Yeah. So the broad area of study and practice related to money,
Study and
banking,
practice.
investment, insurance, and one of the big things that scare most of us off, risk, as in risk management. Okay. So, like I said, it's a broad area of study and practice. So, finances deal with at least these five principles at the least, right?
Right. And that's a lot there with even in itself. We could, I mean, you could write a whole book on these subjects. Money, what is money? You feel me? Banking, like how do banks work? Investments. We got to demystify some of these things and really, if we gonna, you know, uplift ourselves, other people, it's in order. Yes, sir.
I mean, to add to that, I think like these are the five, at least these are the five things that you have to do if you're trying to finance your money. If you're trying to, you know, finance and to improve or to, financially grow and move forward, that you're going to have to understand the money. Then you're going to, money and banking kind of go hand in hand, like we talk. But then, if somebody's got money, you're going to have to learn how to invest that money, in order to create more wealth, right? And then even with your insurance, having insurance, or like we said earlier, investing in insurance, um, can also yield money, but also can help cut down on losing money, because having insurance for certain purposes, well, uh, what is it? I mean, like it'll protect you basically. You know what I'm saying? So insurance is
Mhm.
important when you're dealing with a lot of money, and then having the risk management, because learning how to take risks, because you got to take risks when you're trying to really make money, but you got to learn how to take risks. And because I'm gonna tell you something, a lot of people, let's say a lot of brothers out here that are invested in starting their own business. They're entrepreneur at heart, but they don't understand risk management. So they run out and invest their money into things that don't yield them anything, or they wind up losing all their money, and then they'll say, well, it takes money to make money, right? And so
Mhm.
they'll go out here and spend money carelessly, thinking that taking the risk is the key. But it's like taking the right risks, and what's not, like knowing the difference between, like, am I getting scammed out of that, or is this really an investment? It's like really learning that skill to not keep getting burned, and learning how to manage these risks. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say on that.
Right. So that's what finance is. We got a definition of finance on the flow. So I
All right,
guess we moving forward.
we got the financial environment, the three major components. Now this stuff gets a little deep right here, bro.
So that's what the we remember that the chapter was this chapter is about the financial environment. So we what we kind of went over already was what we discussed what finance is. We gave a definition of finance, and we also talked about the three main area of finance. So now we get into the financial environment, right? And this is going to be the main topic of the chapter, financial environment. So it's three major components. I think is that even in the learning objectives? Let me see, because we had the learning objectives, but we didn't really kind of go over it. But I think that was one of them. Let me see.
I'm not sure, bro.
Well, we define finance. That was learning objective number one. Describe finance in the three areas of finance. And now discuss. Let's see where we at now. Okay, we talking about the financial environment. Okay, so the three major components of the financial environment is the system, institutions, and the market. So it's financial systems, financial institutions. This is what will make up the financial environment. Three major components.
Right. Financial institutions, financial system, institution, and markets. And it says it encompasses the financial system, institution, financial market, business firms, individuals, and global interactions. So I don't have
Hey,
much to say. What?
can we put some of that like on this? Well, I don't know if you can copy and paste it, but it would be cool to have something on the screen, even if it's the learning objective. I just thought of that because that would be cool. But let me see, because it's good to keep it in the major framework, or it's kind of easy to get lost. But anyway, because so we're talking about the financial environment and the financial systems, financial institutions, financial markets. They have three main components. I mean, and it also encompasses financial systems, financial institutions, financial markets, business firms, individuals, and global interactions. So that's it. I mean, I don't know. We can go really deep into all that, but for time's sake,
Right. I'm did you want to talk about part two or
tip part two.
I yeah, because I can go in. I didn't. I actually I have to go and pull it up. I didn't know if
Okay.
you wanted to talk anything about part two. That's what I'm saying. I had to. Let me go back in here because I thought I
We
pulled
can.
part two up, but it's actually both part ones.
Okay.
I thought
Why
I
you
had.
pulling
Didn't
up
I
part
have part
two?
two?
Yeah, you had
Huh?
put it up at first. But why we going to part
Okay, I
two?
do have it up here. I do have part two up here. Hold on. I can go into part two now. You say what though? Let me.
Why you going into part two? I'm confused.
You didn't want to talk about part two?
Oh no, I was saying no, I was saying something else. I was saying like something about the definitions. I was just saying like, oh, it would be cool if we could have the definitions or the objectives, the learning objectives in the thing, because that can keep the conversation in context. Because sometimes, you know, if you know what I'm saying, you feel me, but we can go back to chapter one.
Okay, you wanted
Uh,
to finish up chapter one and go back over that again some more?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's
Okay.
see, because we had just got past. Okay, so we was talking about the financial environment. Okay, yeah, we was going to talk about the four major components, or is it three major components? It might say four in it, but the three major components of the financial environment. So we was going to start talking about, when we say the financial system, what are we talking about? We're going to talk about that. When we're talking about financial institutions, what is those? What's a financial institution? And then we're going to get into financial markets, and we're going to talk about how the financial market works and what that means. So keep that in the context of we talking about the financial environment. These are three main components of the financial
Okay.
environment.
So, all right, I'm gonna take down stream, brother OG
You just
Healer.
think in the world of finance, I think that even better than environment. Uh,
All right,
let's see.
okay, hold on, bro. I'm going back. I just had it. Okay, so this is the diagram of the financial system pooling coming up,
Okay, let's see.
and you got it's just the. I mean, so you want to go into this or
I mean,
keep scrolling or
yeah, we can keep going.
all right, y'all can go back and look at that. So we talking about what now? The four components of financial environment.
It's really three. My bad, y'all. It's three. I must have mistyped that for y'all. But yeah, so we got the system here. So you might have been like, well, what is a financial system? What are you talking about? So we say the financial institutions that operate within a financial system to facilitate the work of financial markets. Okay, well that you could probably exit that out. But let's say the financial system is the policymakers made up of the policymakers, the financial institutions, financial markets, and monetary systems. So that's what make up the. I think even this part is more of a. I don't know, but that's it. I don't know if you got something you want to add to
I
it.
mean, what you want to you want? I mean, who's a policymaker? They talking about um,
Like the
what?
Federal
Who
Reserve.
is that? What we talking about? The Federal Reserve policymakers?
Uh huh.
Okay. Then you got the financial institutions, which is the banks and whatnot, and then we got the market, but then we got the system. So I mean, they got the monetary system, which it sounds simple, but I mean, really, that's something that we really don't understand is the monetary system. We don't understand how the system operates. So this is like kind of what we're going into. So the second part of that, hold up. So you got four components. So you said there's three, right? Three components of financial environment. First one is the system.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is institutions.
Right.
And okay,
You say
organization or go ahead, read it if you can see
say
it.
organizations are either intermediaries that help financial system operate efficiently. So you just think of it as either intermediaries like such as banks, insurance companies, investment companies. So what they do is aid the flow. Because remember, like finance study how do people acquire, spend, and manage money, right? So how do you acquire money? You know what I'm saying? And where institutions come in is they take money from savers and lend them to borrowers who buy assets. You feel me? So how do
Yeah, I
people
mean,
acquire? What else? How is it managed? And how do they spend it? I don't know. It might have been spent, but so institutions such as these in the financial market operate as intermediaries between, savers. You're going to deposit your money into the bank. You know, they, let's say, the company going to take a loan from the bank. They go and buy some capital. I mean, people do it too. I mean, when finance stuff. But yeah,
I got you. So, um, okay, so okay. The last part of it is the investor, and the borrower,
hmm
financial assets, inventories, building and equipment.
and that even goes for when you buy stocks or bonds. I mean, that's kind of like a way of raising funds. So we're talking about how do you acquire funds? How do you go, quiet financing. But yeah.
Okay, so the third one is markets.
So markets provide the mechanism for allocating financial resources. So from savers to borrowers, funds to investors, business, and governments. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. I think the general idea is, you got markets, you got institutions, and what else we have?
I mean,
Markets,
it's straightforward,
institutions,
but do people
and the
understand all
financial
this?
system. I
Do
mean,
people
it's
understand
really,
all
it's
this? It's
it's
straightforward, but do they understand like what these like?
it's it's really kind of simple. It's really kind of simple. Okay, in a financial environment, right? You got a system. You think of it as almost like a regulatory system to regulate. You got institutions such as banks, businesses, and the like. And you got markets where people go and buy financial products and exchange financial products. You feel me? You think of like the bank. Like the bank is like a financial market. I mean, if you think of it as a market, you know, it's a financial market. Banks are a part of the financial market where people can go and, exchange money and all type of securities. You feel me?
Right, right. So we're talking about now the art of financial management.
Okay, we can skip this, but I think it is important to at least point out that we are financial managers for real. We manage our own finance. You feel me? And it could be efficiently managed, or it can just be not managed at all, damn near practically. You feel me? But
What it says here for personal finance to study how individuals accumulate wealth over time, prepare for financial emergencies, and protect against premature death and the loss of property. Hey, that sums it up. I mean, it sounds basic, but I mean, for real, like, I don't think a lot of us think about it like that. We don't think about how to prepare for financial emergencies. I mean, everybody got issues or something that happens financially, and a lot of times it wipes us out. It'll wipe out the average person, um, or put them in such a financial bind that they lose their sovereignty over this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think it's key to study and learn how to accumulate wealth. That's the
mm-hmm,
idea. It's to accumulate wealth over time. Like you got somebody who's 20 years old. He shouldn't. Somebody who's 50 or my age or whatever has more accumulated of wealth than somebody in their 20s. But a lot of times we don't because of the mistakes we've made, not understanding how to do business and finance. We're we're sitting almost at the same place that you was 20, 30 years ago. I mean, so
mm. Hey, but before you move on, check out entrepreneurial finance. So, entrepreneurial finance is a study of how to raise financial capital and manage operations and assets. Okay, so that's everybody out here who've been wanting to start a business. That's everybody out here who then had a dream or a vision of some type of project, to help the community. That's where we're getting into entrepreneurial finance. So, you feel me? How do you
how to
how do
raise,
you
how to
how
raise financial capital, how
exactly
to raise and manage their operations and
right.
assets. You know, I mean, definitely, that's definitely the key. The key. That's the key.
Hmm.
Um, all right, so we moving on. What's this right here?
The six principles of finance. I mean, we can skip over this for now. Like this just we can skip over this for now because I think it'll take away more from the focus than it will kind of add to. Because we got to remember we're talking about financial environments,
See,
and
now I
we
was
know
thinking
that.
this when they was talking about policymakers. When we was talking about
Yeah,
policymakers,
Right.
policymakers. I was thinking like legislation or Congress. So they when they talk about policymakers, they really like they talk about the government. Okay, but we did say Federal Reserve Board. So I mean, the government along with the Federal Reserve are known to
Mm-hmm.
be heavy policymakers. Okay, their role pass laws, set fiscal and monetary policy.
So,
Just like right now,
so
we going through a policy, some kind of monetary policy because they got to raise the debt ceiling. So, but go
mhm.
ahead. What you about to
No, I'm saying so. Just remember, these is so we talked about the four or the three components of a financial environment. We said it was systems, institutions, and markets. So the diagram that you're showing is a diagram relating to the systems, financial systems that's in the financial environment. So what you're seeing there is the different areas of the financial system. You know, we talked about that: policymakers, monetary systems. We got the Federal
say? Yeah, but we
Reserve,
didn't talk about what
commercial
was the
banking
monetary
system.
system. See,
Uh,
this is it. Like this is showing us what it is. It didn't really tell us what the
mm-hmm.
monetary system was. This is breaking it down. So I want y'all to understand that when we're talking about the monetary system, we're talking about the Federal Reserve. Okay. It says it's the Federal Reserve Central Bank. But the key to this is commercial banking system. Okay. Remember that. This is not like there's a difference between, from what I understand, this is from what I understand, it's a difference between commerce and commercial. Okay. Just remember that. Um, but the role for this monetary system is to create. So the monetary system creates the money and then transfers that money to wherever it's needed. And so, where does it transfer it to? Your
Mm-hmm.
financial institutions, your financial markets. So now we can see what is financial institutions and what is financial markets, right?
Right. And you can even think of it like, you know, how, you know, it's almost how certain policies is regulated. Like you got the very beginning and start with the policies that's made by the government to, you know, economic policies. And that's transfer over to the monetary system. And, you know, so the monetary system, you know, even what do they give? Like, I think they give something into the monetary system. I don't know. We ain't got to go into all that, but it's interesting. If you really look at that diagram and you see the flow of papers, you know,
You see the flow of
you
the
know,
monetary, I mean, of the system. It shows you how the system starts. You start with people who make policy on this, and then a monetary system's there to create and transfer money based on those policies, right?
right?
And then, and then, where does the money go? The money either goes to a financial institution, which we're talking about, depository institutions, contractual savings organizations, security firms, finance firms. Okay, but then it also goes to financial markets. So now we understand markets. We're talking about debt security markets, equity security markets, okay, derivative security markets, foreign exchange markets. So there's four markets right there that most people have not heard of. Now the only one they might have heard of foreign exchange markets, but like a
Mm.
debt securities, what's a debt security market? What's the equity security market? See, this is what we don't understand, right?
And why
These
they
are
why they important also too though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
oh man, they are very important. I mean, like for time, we can't go into all these, but I mean, like y'all look at this, and Google this, like Google all this. You know what I'm saying? Google what debt securities are because this is how we start to formulate our understanding of the money system. Because a lot of times, because we don't understand the money system and we're trying to get money, we become very frustrated, and then we can start blaming the system for our lack of understanding. So we get upset with the game or the system because we don't understand it, and we start to blame the system. Now, I'm not saying the system is all that because I know this is a lot of fraudulently going on in the system, but at the same time, we don't understand it, so it makes it even more frustrating to us that we're not getting this money like we should because we don't understand it. They
Mm.
don't teach it. They don't teach it to us. like
right?
that. You got to
And you
go out
know,
and look. It's there. It's there for us to learn, but they don't necessarily teach this to us in school.
right? And I was just gonna say,
That's what I'm saying.
and it even go back to the fact that we as financial managers, whether if we like it or not. And so yes, sir. So I
Yes,
guess what
sir.
we're going into here, overview of financial system. Okay, so we're still talking about the financial environment. It's kind of going into an overview of financial systems. So I think this is, as it says, its purpose to expedite the flow of financial capital from savings to investments. And they got the components that we just kind of even talked about. Um, but it's interesting because, like what it say, institutions purpose is to accumulate savings and invest those savings to encourage capital formation. Okay, talking about capital, all that.
Right.
Okay, so I mean that's almost like when you think of a bank. You feel me? Average person get their direct deposit is going into the bank. The bank is gonna take your money, put your money on the books, and then loan it out. You feel me? And gonna collect
Yeah.
interest on all that. So that's what the bank is there for. You feel me? This is so important, man. It's so important for real.
I definitely understand it. This, and I ain't gonna lie, like y'all, a lot of this I understand. The way it's working, but a lot of the terms they are, they can throw you off a little bit, But that's why I really think it's key for us to really understand the financial terms that's used. Because if you don't understand them, then you get thrown off. Okay. What's the third? So the third, we got the policymaker, institutions. Then we got the monetary system again. Like they said, they create and transfer money. The central banking system. When we talk about the central banking system for the United States is the Federal Reserve. All right. So then you got the financial markets. So this is kind of just going rehashing what they was talking about in far as in a diagram, but transfer of financial assets. So it says from among individuals or institutions, businesses, and governments. So the four different types. Three types of financial markets. It's talking about debt securities. What is a debt security, man?
It's a bond. It's a bond, ain't
Exactly.
it? Or at least one of them, or one form is a bond, right? One form is a bond.
It's
Debt security could even just be if you write me an IOU and it's certified and legitimate.
debt security. No,
That's
I'm about to look it
a
up.
debt security because it's security for the debt. It's what I'm saying. Because if you know, I just loan you some money, you feel me? Who knows? But if I got it in writing, some type of paper, you feel me? I got security. I'm secured. I'll be more secured. You feel me?
Right. So it's saying right here, are you right? So it's saying that debt securities are financial assets that entitle their owners to a stream of interest payments.
Then you hear you said it's an asset. What's that, bro?
Huh?
You said it's a financial asset.
It said debt securities are financial assets that
Okay.
entitle the owner to a stream of interest payments.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm just saying, that's what it says. Unlike equity securities, it says debt securities require the borrower to repay the principal borrowed. The
Hmm.
interest rate for a debt security will depend on the perceived credit worthiness of the borrower. So basically, a debt security is what when they give you a loan, right?
A debt security. I like to think of it just as a piece of paper that's saying that some motherfuckers owe you some money. Damn near. Just to keep it simple. You feel me? It's really kind of
And
like
that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. It says bonds such as government bonds, corporate bonds, municipal bonds. All right. And look, collateralized bonds. All
Hey,
right. Hey, hey.
cause
And
look though, what is a bond though? What is a bond? When you go and buy a bond, what is a bond?
what is a bond?
And a bond is you basically give somebody a loan, like is a bond. I mean, you give them a loan essentially, or some type of deposit, and they give you a piece of paper saying that, on so and so date, you're supposed to receive this amount of interest or whatever. You feel me?
Right. So right. So that's right. And I think that's a perfect example of a debt security is a bond.
And they're gonna pay you
So
back for that. Don't you get
similar
paid?
to what they say is similar to an IOU,
Well,
huh? A bond is similar to an IOU. So basically, it is borrowing money or
yep, used
borrows
to
issue
finance.
bonds to save money.
But you also ask, why would somebody want a bond? You know what I'm saying? This is also key though. It's a way to raise money. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you wanted to start a finance company or something like that, whatever. Uh, and you needed to raise money. You know what I'm saying? You could sell bonds to help finance, but you ain't had. Let's say you ain't had the money to start it up. That's one way to finance it. You can issue out bonds. You know what I'm saying? Well, where if you put this deposit down or whatever, and so amount of time, you gonna get whatever. And that's a debt security. It's a debt security because the bond. Let's say you default. Let's say something happened and something happened and you couldn't pay Burr back when he needed it. He have that paper as security. So if he wanted to pursue the issue, he secured. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's word is bond. So right. So if they stocks are both securities. So let's look. Okay, so now we got equity security, right?
Essentially, essentially, those are stocks, right? And we know the stocks is what just it's
Uh,
just,
it's a security.
right. So even stocks is really just like it's part ownership in a company. You feel me? And that's another way to finance things. Let's say, Bandele wanted to open the finance company and he needed some money. He could sell off part of the company. Fam get 3% of the company. You get 1.5%, and you're gonna have this stock. You a part owner in the company, and you feel me? And you
Right.
can
That's
trade this.
equity. You got
Right,
equity in the company, right?
right.
That's what that means. You got equity in the company. So it's a security. I get it. That makes sense. I mean, like, I get it. Now, the one that no. So what about the derivative security?
I don't even want to go into them because
Why?
it got because because it might be down there. The definition might be down there. Derivatives could be a number of different things. I don't know specifically, what
Excuse
type
me,
of
guys.
derivative, but it's some type of derivative, some type of money you getting from
Now, I'm saying
ownership of something.
a derivative security is a financial instrument again whose value depends upon the value of another asset. The main
Okay,
types of derivatives are futures, forwards, options, and swaps.
okay. And folks,
See, that's a whole.
don't get confused by the language. Essentially, these are just piece of paper saying that somebody owes somebody some money. It's kind of like a contract. That's kind of basically what it is. The futures and the options. But yes, sir.
So yeah, like futures. Yeah, what is your idea of understanding the futures, man? Then we can move on.
I don't even know. I don't even know. It's a definitely
Only
some
future I know
type
is
of
a
investment.
rapper.
Uh,
I said the future I
I,
know is a rapper, man.
uh, uh,
But no, they talking about future um, value of bonds, like something in the future has a future date. So it's like I get that.
it
It's a
might be. You know what?
It's
It
a
might.
value of an asset at a future date
Mm,
based on a particular type of growth and rate of return. Mm. So okay, all right, y'all. Enough to chew on that. We're gonna move. We're gonna move forward. All right. We gonna move forward. Uh, okay. We got this. We got this up here, right?
mm.
This chart. You
So
it
where
kind
was
of
we at? Because to even kind of bring it back, we still talking about the financial environment. What is we kind of getting into, just so we can keep it. We're talking
I
about the
mean, we going
components
back
of
into
the.
what we this right here. Look
Yeah,
at
we talking
the
about the components of the financial system, right?
mhm.
Yeah, is this it? I don't know. No, it's part of it because I don't see the. Is this it? Anyway,
The components. You
okay.
got the monetary system. We talked about the monetary system, like how what it does,
Hold up, let me go
its
back.
function. The financial institutions. They talk about basically the accumulating savings and the lending investing savings. Then they talked
Mm,
about the markets, marketing financial assets, and then transferring financial assets.
okay.
Um, let me see if we got anything. Okay, that's it.
So we
Okay,
still
so
talking about financial system. I think yeah. So we still talking about the financial system. So it's an overview of the financial system. Let's see what. Okay, though. See, I don't want blank. Well, yeah, bro. So we still talking about overview of the financial system. I think we finna move on though, right?
we got
We talking about the financial environment.
1.5 marketing, financial markets, right? The characteristics and the types
Mm-hmm.
financial markets. So they've got um, basically it's saying raising of financial capital, the issue and trade of debt securities, what we talked about, and the equity securities, which we talked about. Um, then you got right. So I mean, I don't know if I'm moving too fast on that. But I'm just reading through it. I'm just reading through it. So stop me.
So we just got to keep in mind that we're talking about the three components of the financial environment. Let's see. So where is we at, bro? Because I done kind of lost my footing, but just bear with us, y'all. We
I'm
getting
on at
into
one
some
point.
really
I guess
good shit.
I'm at 1.5 financial markets. Yeah, we can wrap it up
Okay.
though in a minute, man. For real. I mean, I know we can get to part two of this, right?
Hmm.
I mean, the next chapter, but if you can see 1.5 financial markets, characteristics and types. I don't know if
Okay.
you can see the
Okay. I'm moving
screen.
down.
All
Okay.
right.
So we talking about financial markets because it's systems, institutions, and markets. So I guess now we're talking about financial markets in the context of the financial environment. So let's say the purpose of financial markets is to issue and trade securities. Okay. And it helps facilitate the raising of financial capital and issue and trade of debt securities, and equity securities to existing new investors. And they got government entities listed here because government entities they participate in the financial market, to finance products or projects and services, projects and services, and issue or sell debt securities.
I got you.
So the government, a lot of times they finance things through bonds. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, bonds. Uh, government and businesses.
Hmm. So even we got business firms listed here. So businesses in the financial market, they go to the financial market so to invest. So they want to grow their business. And what they do is they issue debt securities such as bonds and they sell equity securities such as stock to raise finance, to finance their business. I mean, why we don't never hear folks talking about this? You know what I'm saying? Like most of the time, it's a lot of folks out here who want to, get money for their business, but folks don't
It's a
know
lot because
how.
they don't know how. I don't think they know how. Really? I mean, like, I don't know. Like, to get what kind of business do you have to have in order to be able to um, issue debt securities
Mm.
or sell equity securities? So, it does say business firms too. So, just your average day business, like a car wash or some type of, it's not. I don't think it's fixed to that way to get that kind of, you know, securities. But you might be able to start thinking like that. If y'all starting these little businesses, how can y'all get your business set up to um, be able to issue out debt securities and uh, sell some type of equity into your. Even if you can't sell debt securities, I think a lot of times we can sell equity to our place, not even in the form of stock, but like you can buy into my business, and I do give you a piece of my business. Um, what's that when you have these grocery stores that people buy? You know how they have like what is it? What do they call those grocery stores? Like you go in, you can actually own a part of that grocery store. I
Uh,
mean, it just kind of puts me in that mind. If y'all know what it is, I mean, y'all put it in the comments. I can't even think right now; it's late. But I think that if you can't get debt securities, you might be able to sell equity into your business.
I
So
mean,
that's it.
I don't know. That's even worth something looking at because I don't see why you couldn't do either one. It would depend on who would want to buy it, and that could go into a whole other conversation about the issues that Black people really have with supporting each other and being willing to lend money to each other and all that cooperative economics. You feel me? But if I do think if somebody would be interested in buying a bond from you or a stock for you to raise money for your business, I can't see that being illegal. I mean, you're not doing it on a you're not gonna go public or no shit like that, like in the New York Stock Exchange. So
Right, right. So I mean, these are things to think about as a business, like other ways to make income besides just like clients and consumerism. Like this is outside of being a consumer because most of the time we're focused on making money by being from a consumer standpoint. So we're dependent on people to buy your product, uh, to buy a product that's usually not really looked at in the form of paper. You know, and like we say, I mean,
mm,
these are nothing but paper. With certain instructions on them. So just kind of got to change our thinking on how we make money. You know, I don't know, man. I'm kind of since two. If it's cool, we can stop here. If it's something else you wanted to add to where we at, or
um, well, let's
before
see. I
we
think we was going to get back into financial markets, but that was what the third part. Is that the third part? Let's see. Where was we just at? We're talking about the
uh,
markets, right? Oh yeah, financial
yeah,
markets. So
financial markets.
so we kind of talked about the financial environment. We're talking about, we mapping stuff out. You feel me? We doing a survey of the financial world, the financial land, and there's three major components there: the system, the institutions, and the markets. You feel me? We kind of went over the system. We talked a bit about institutions, and we even got into the markets somewhat. We also talked about what is finance, and we definitely talked about why it's important for folks to study finance. Is there anything else that we talked about?
Um, I mean, y'all. I mean, like I'm not gonna necessarily go rehash back over it. Y'all go just go back and check out the video. If you call it late, go back and check it out. But I don't really have nothing else to add to what we talked about. I mean, we can kind of like. I feel like this is very much, a needed conversation. So we want to go and finish the lesson, and like probably the next video or two, then the next day or two, or whenever we get back, we're gonna pick up kind of maybe where we left off, or somewhere in close. So, um, you know, like I said, is this really time for us to start looking at finances in a different manner? And um, 2023 should be more about like getting this bread and helping grow, so that we can, really kind of even like maintain, like we said, because of the failing economy or the things that's going on. We got to be prepared. We got to be prepared for the changes. So, that's all I really got to say on it, bro.
Yes, sir. I just I'm tempted to do another recap because I do believe in repetition, but I guess I can go back and rewind the video. It's repetition for me and you though, because we having this conversation. I don't necessarily plan on going back and watching the video, but maybe I might do that. Maybe I might do
Well,
that.
no, I'm saying for people who coming in late, like, um, for them to review the video, because I mean, like, they coming in. I'm not, I'm really not gonna jump back into keep. I'm not gonna keep over reviewing. In my personal opinion, keep over going over and over reviewing the same thing. So, you know, like I said, if y'all really want to check it out, then y'all go back and watch the video. Not necessarily you. I mean, you got the we got the notes. So I mean, we can go over our notes and study though. And that's key. Is really like to get this information and to go back over it and look at it, study it.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. Because
you may not get it once again. You might not get it in one. You might not get it all at one time.
yeah, because we barely even scratched the surface. Like it's so much that we really didn't even go into. But I think the best way for anybody who I don't know need a tip is just look at what study what the words mean, and
Right. I
yeah,
mean, like I said, we could pick up, man. I mean, like, I don't think we're gonna get everything in one night anyway. I mean, I personally didn't think that we was gonna get everything in one night. So I appreciate everybody coming out and listening. And like I said, I hope y'all like the video, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and let's get ready to make some money and check out the next installment of these videos, so that we can get even deeper into this. So no doubt. So
sure.
um, I appreciate you, brother, man. I'm gonna check you. We gonna get back together on the next video. And to everybody, man, peace and love. Tutanana.
Peace.